Hey there, fellow miners. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Frostwardens. Episode 26, A Wing Made of Wood. How much wood is there in the deposit? It's 300 per spot. And it's, a lot of spots. Fermi estimate, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so like 3,500 or so, maybe a little bit more. It's a rough estimate. Thousands. I mean, there's thousands of wood there. And this is, I designed all of the deep drill commonality, to try to match Frostpunk. Because in Frostpunk, your underground nodes are pretty plentiful and not a lot of them. So I made changes to like deep drill scanning to mimic Frostpunk. Cheers. Okay, that's heated. And I am going to set everyone else to the close zone and get the walls built first, and then we'll do the flooring after. And Axios, you are going to wake up and hit fish pick with a work drive. So the main concern here is it just needs to be warm enough in the room to avoid hypothermia. Which it is almost. And then, now that the batteries have had a few days off from the grow light, I'll flick that back on. I don't even think we need this door. I'll get rid of it. Good news, the psychic drone's done. In Fishpick, you are going to be mining over construction. So construct, yeah, that's already the setup that we have. Perfect. Okay, he's digging. Zeuson's actually heading into the room. Oh, I know what this is for. This was for double insulation. Zeuson's heading into the room to avoid hypothermia, so this room is indeed warm enough. Although it is towards the end of the winter, so that's not necessarily going to be true in the deepest of the winter months. So it would be wise to get this double insulated at some point. To that end, maybe having a pass-through door here. Like that. So we can traverse around. Actually, the door here is going to be a bit of a problem. Maybe a door here. So it doesn't get blocked by the double-walled insulation. Yeah, the space heater does give off a little bit of light. So within a 3x3 spot, or like one adjacent to the space heater, it's light enough to work by, which is why I had the space heater next to the ground pen scanner, space heater next to the art bench and the stone cutting table. I'm using the space heaters as a source of light as well to limit the amount of power I'm using, which soon might not be an issue now that we have wood. So, automatic refuel is turned on. Good. And people will be grabbing that soon. Maybe don't stand in the door. So, with the wood-fired arc fueled, and hypothetically going to be powered up for the near future, because of our source of wood, I'm going to start to embark on multi-analyzer research. But I really only want Zeus'in to do it. I'm going to try to keep the ground pen scanner on as well. Alright, you two are freezing to death. Get the hell in here. So with everything powered up, during the day, we are net negative for power, but not by much. And then during the night, we should be net positive and be able to have a total net positive on our batteries, I suspect. Maybe. Zeus'in, you might want the heater before you freeze to death in that room. Well, death trap of a room. So we have 23 hours of fuel in the wood-fired arc. It's not a lot, but infinitely more than we had yesterday. And we can also start to build a roof for the tunnel so that I can remove the snow and traverse out to the wood mining site without much issue. Target temperature, let's reset to 70. Cheers! We are out of food. One of the issues of making batch meals is very easy to starve accidentally. Alright, most of the hydro basins are nearly grown, so they should be grown enough for tomorrow, I think. And all the starvation warnings that we just had, we're recovering from. So once we fully have the buried timber facility all set and running, I plan on, because we're heading into the spring, trying to be able to exploit iron so that we have the resources for steel. Oh, God. That's not good. Zeus'in. Oh, this is not in the home zone. Well, that's a problem. Let's add it to the home zone. No wonder you're not repairing. Everything that should be in the home zone is now. Perfect. Alright. Run out here and replace the component. Hey, not as bad as Frankenstein. Thank you for the resub. So now we have a walking path that is roofed up and somewhat illuminated. I'm going to lay out the lights so that they're perfect. There we go. So now I move them so that they're like actually illuminating the entire path, just so that we can get through this frozen hallway fast. Because the faster we move through the frozen hallway, the less hypothermia we get. And we almost have the entire thing walled up to prevent raiders from easily being able to access. With that in mind, I can now hold this door open, as we don't really have a source of heat within the base, and I'm going to hold this one open just for convenience. We've got 1.6 days of wood on the wood-fired ark cooked off. And I guess if I'm keeping all the research tables stuff on, I'm just going to allow anyone that's idle to do the work. Alright, at this point, we are going to have our next voting session. Now that our fuel scarcity issues have been, let's say, mostly resolved. Voting session 12. The stalwarts propose that now that we have a source of wood for the Ark, that we prohibit the use of corpses for heat, which was an emergency measure passed years ago. The Pilgrims want to fortify the resolve and do fitness training to become more comfortable with frigid temperatures. The stalwarts are willing to compromise to prohibit the use of corpses for heat, but volunteer to haul corpses for destruction, rather than have Axios do it. And the Pilgrims are willing to compromise. They will do the fitness training, but they also won't use corpses for heat. Again, it's worth remembering that if you are a self-assigned stalwart, you should only vote for something that says stalwart, abstain, or defer. And if you are a self-assigned pilgrim, the same applies to you as well. And you guys can vote to your heart's content. So in what seems to be a relatively interesting twist, because of all the recent wins that the stalwarts have had, it looks like the Pilgrims are finally winning something, which is different. The resolution has passed. The Pilgrims have won without compromise. So there's a few things I need to change on the back end, which I'm doing now. Okay, done. So as a result of this, this is what we've got. The Pilgrims now are temperature tough. Extreme temperatures bother them less, meaning that they will have fewer penalties on their mood. And because they finally broke their losing streak, they're no longer disenfranchised, they're instead downtrodden. So their average mood has increased. Stalwarts, on the other hand, had their moods decrease as they lost their winning streak. That is the result of that voting session. So I'm going to double wall this up because it really doesn't cost a lot of limestone for the benefit it might offer. And then once that's done, we can consider taking on another project. Good. We got a rice harvest. Given our tattered clothing, I'm going to change 3 of these benches from rice to cotton so that we can keep up with clothing replacements. Oh, and the pole's still up? Yeah, my bad. Very sleep deprived. It's not a good excuse, but it's very true. My wife's been away all week, so I've been a single parent all week. Whew, it's a lot. The next generator upgrade is called the Automatic Stoker, which allows us to load more fuel into the Ark at one time. No Ark upgrades are going to be considered until I have the ability to manufacture the materials going into the Ark upgrade, and in this case it's components and steel. So I will not be upgrading the Ark until I have fabrication running. Fish Picks mining has gone up. That's nice. Still technically is allowed to burn corpses for heat. But I think... Where's the other dead? I think I'll have Axios make a quick run for removing some of the corpses on the map tile. Okay, those are the last two dead. Cool. It's not warm in here, but it's negative 20, so it's like tolerable. Fish Pick isn't going to die or anything. So that's a huge boon. And as far as power goes, we've mostly been... I'll turn off the ground pen scanner because we really haven't been using it, I don't think. But we've been sitting fairly pretty for the amount of power that we have. You are starving. That's because, what, wardens aren't wardening? So if we really want to convert Ray, we're going to need to do a better job of making sure Ray has needs met. Now that Ray is a pilgrim, there isn't like slept in the cold or is cold mood penalties anymore. So that will actually make it a little bit easier, strangely enough. I am officially out of limestone, so the remaining blocks out here cannot be done due to a lack of limestone. But it's still winter. I don't think it's safe to necessarily venture too far away from the security of our base. So I know that we need limestone to finish this project up, but I don't think I'm going to be trying to obtain that right now. The other question I had is, if we do open this door, does the room... I think it stays warm enough. So I'm going to have a clear and open path all the way out to the mining, which is fine. Cheers. So we've exploited the buried timber. The current priorities is going to be convert Ray and research fabrication. Once it's a little bit warmer, and I can spare one of the heaters in here to move in here to make this like a temperature tolerant zone. Another thing I could do is to mine a tunnel out to the iron out here, and to set up a facility there. And multi-analyzer is chugging along. Can we even put a facility out there? Yes. It's inside the map edge. I think deep materials will never be outside the map edge. By default. Well, we had a little bit of a party. No inspiration as a result of the party, despite the fact that we have really good moods everywhere. And even Axios is researching. That's weird to look at. I think what I might do is I'll try to haul limestone. I'm not really sure we can do it safely yet, given the temp. No, it's still negative. It's almost negative 80. I'm going to hold off. Idleness is fine. So in warm months, could they move chunks closer? Yes, they could. They could move chunks. The only issue with moving chunks closer is it offers cover to raiders. So if the chunks are not stored within the base, it can backfire. And raiders can use the chunks for cover, makeshift cover. So it's one of the reasons why I haven't bothered to do that, because I don't really want to be setting anything up that could help the raiders raid us. Oh man, a broken battery. That's rough. That's a lot of power going poof. I don't really think I want anyone but Zeusin on the research bench. They're kind of monopolizing it, and not in a good way. So I think what I'll do is not refuel the arc generator for a day or two, so that I can start replacing steel doors with wood ones for the internals. For the doors that don't... that are the most inside. That are the least likely to be damaged by raiders. So like these two doors here, these two doors. That's going to allow us to recoup some of the steel that we sunk cost into that. And then I could also consider trying to change the bridge layout a little bit so that raiders don't use this as cover. And maybe even change the layout here. In fact, this layout is really bad. Like, if I had a wall here, a bridge here, and a wall there, I could shoot out much more easily. There's not much to do about raiders using this as cover. The only way to prevent that would be for there to be some sort of, like, super long bridge that goes all the way out like this, which is way more wood than I can have. Where, like... and then, you know, paired with like a regular wall, so they have to come in and there's no way to hide behind it. It's maybe something we could do in the far-flung future, but like that's not really in the cards right now. But I will invest a little bit of wood there, although I'm not sure I want Pierogi to do it because of his fail chance. Oh, I guess it was fine. So use a little bit of wood for, you know, changing around our defensive layouts. Would it be good to uninstall, like, this battery? Yeah, we could. We can uninstall the battery so it doesn't have a breakdown. It does dissipate on its own, slowly, over time. So if we did that... You know, we'll have to make sure that we recharge it at some point. But I still like it as an idea. What do you have on your back? You have a fire foam popper. It's a chem fuel powered fire extinguisher. Well, that's enough for one door. It's not much, but it's a start. And I guess I'll also put Cardinal on Deep Drill. As Cardinal and Fish Pick... Well, no, they're on the same sleep schedule. It's just Fish Pick happened to be sleeping. Never mind, we could kick Cardinal off. Once I have enough for, like, more drills and all that, I could consider multiple Deep Drillers. I just don't have the material to spend at the moment. Rice looks pretty good. More rice than we've had in a long time stockpiled. Axios is making sure that our supply ever increasing. And that's actually pretty well timed, honestly. Blight now rather than a minute ago. Because a minute ago it would have been a lot more painful. But can you cut before we lose cotton? I know he's on, like, dedicated rec. Or something. I don't know. He's fighting me. Right, he's resting. If that's true... I don't really care who plants. We have a day and a half of wood left. And I'm going to replace both these doors with wooden ones. And maybe... this one as well. Now our wood count, our steel count is better than it was. And these doors probably could just be stone. I don't... Well, we don't have any limestone. We don't open them often enough to really warrant them to be anything but stone. Canceling all designations and then designating only limestone to be hauled because we have a lot of slate in our stockpiles, but we have basically no limestone. So, let's go ahead and do a... I'll see about unrestricted now that we're almost out of winter. And if they get hypothermic often, I'll have to zone restrict them a little bit better. So now that some of the doors have been replaced with steel ones, I can start using the wood as a fuel again. Yeah, we have slate. All my doors so far have been limestone doors, so I kind of want to stick with the theme. Next person that goes for a meal, I'll try to mass produce NPM before we run out. So, Ray, you're still stressed. That's because you have not been fed. I think it's because Zeusin's research was higher than wardening. So yeah, I fixed that. Wait, what did I forbid? Do you... Oh, you had a nutrient-based meal on you. Got it. I was trying to figure out... I forbid a meal, and then Cardinal was like, I'm gonna eat anyway. It's like, eat what? I'm so confused. Alright, we're going to do a jumbo batch here, so I don't have to worry about this for a while. Nice, it's like actually landing on the shelves. Like roughly where you'd want it, I think. So we have about 100 meals now. So many that the shelf is full. That's so weird. So unusual. I don't have a dumping zone for the chunks. I just realized. So let's make one. Because I set up them to be hauled, but I don't have any valid spots to haul them, so therein lies the problem. How bad is the mood when you eat it? -4, I think? Yeah, -4. Unless, of course, you don't care. So the stalwarts in my community don't care about it, so they don't have a negative mood modifier. It's ideology based. Tal in the camp. Sorry, Tal. Not likely to go to any pirate camp, so I'm just going to cancel that entirely. So here's the limestone that we need to be able to form these walls, and then any subsequent limestone can be used to gain access to the iron. And I'm trying to keep an eye on everyone's hypothermia so that we don't have lost fingers and toes. Okay, cool. So this is all double insulated. Perfect. Alright, I think the priority right now is going to be convert ray and create walls to the iron node. Which means in this case, let's dig towards it as much as we can stay within the mountain. So from here, we'll dig up like this and out. Something like that. That will send fish pick up there to start mining that corridor. But I'm fine with that. I'm also going to make one extra heater, and I know I'm low on steel. No, I'm going to hold off on that. I'm too low on steel. I'm too concerned about running out. Been pretty lucky with the lack of raids. Now, there are 2 steel doors here that could be ripped out and replaced. I'm just looking at where we might be able to, like, salvage some steel. And there are some spots, and there's a steel door here as well. Really? You ran all the way out here and then you're going to go back for meal? You're killing me, dude. I guess you are starving. Because this is slate, this is one instance where I'll just use a slate door. So yeah, he didn't get hypothermic. No one's really been getting hypothermic. It's -64. We are tolerant about to like -40-ish. So it's not cold enough that it's like killing us, which is great. Ian, thank you for the resub. And then once we're through this, I'll lay out the structure for the walls. So I can start laying that out now, I guess. Something like that. It won't be able to be double insulated because I can't build up here, but it's small enough that it should be... It should not cause any hypothermia, hypothetically. And then I'll have a door pass through. So this is the structure that we'll build once we're through. And we have even more tattered apparel. I don't know if the 3 basins are going to be enough to start replacing the clothing that got tattered. I might have to add even more basins for cotton. Once we have a source of steel and fabrication for components, we can obviously significantly expand our farming efforts so that we have more hydroponic basins. And that way our resource scarcity gets solved even further. How do I process steel? You can use a bloomery or an electric smithy. I think it says that if you mouse over the steel. Yes. Bloomery or electric smelter. Sorry, not smithy, smelter. We already have the smelter, so I don't have to worry about making one. Yep, you're getting too cold. Nice. We have another batch of rice ready to go. Alright, Fish, if you really want to go out there mining, I'm going to have you on house arrest until you're actually clear of hypothermia. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Frostwardens, which originally streamed live on Twitch February 23rd. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Frostwardens.